Hey guys, what's happening? It's been a minute since I found anything worth a crap or found anything that I deemed was good enough to make a video for. But you can see in front of you, I found something that I think is actually really cool. Here I am shooting a video again. What you see in front of you is actually a customized. I don't think it was factory, and I'll go into that why. A customized pre-war Model 10 Smith and Wesson Model 10 revolver in 38 special. Um, I was hitting a couple of pawn shops on my lunch break this past week, and hit the one closest to my work, and there it was. Asked the dude at the counter if I could see the nickel-plated revolver that he had down at the bottom, and when I put it in my hand, I realized that I didn't think this was stock. So Model K or K frame revolvers by Smith and Wesson, made from like 1899 to like 1983 or something like that. Pre-war year serial numbers on these things are a little weird. There's really no, from what I can gather from information on the internet, there's no way to actually pinpoint to one certain year, so it's kind of a toss up, or not really a toss up, but you get like a range of when dates it was made. So I've got a little paper here. You can see K frame revolvers made from 1899 to 1983, pre-war 89 to 99 to 1902, all the way up to 20,000. So the serial number for this specific one falls right in here from 1915 to 1942. Honestly, from what I've heard, this is normally what you're going to find. If you do find a pre-war revolver, it's going to be somewhere between 1915 and 1942. And like I said, it's just, obviously you can see it's the biggest span of the serial numbers. So things that led me to pick it up. First thing I know that they did make a couple of nickeled K-frames pre-war, but when I looked at it, obviously what stood out to me was the faded gold accents that it had. The hammer, the cylinder release, the trigger, and then of course the ejector are all gold. You can tell it is very faded, but I mean, it's obviously there. So just looking at it there in the pawn, I opened it up and I know that the serial is right down here. If you can see that, it is a 413 617, I believe, or 817, in either case. But these things were blued. This is the original, like, Smith & Wesson M&P, military and police weapon that they issued, that they made for military and police, obviously. So most of these were blued. The biggest thing that stood out, like I said, was those gold accents, but looking at it, you see the older Made in USA stamp. There is no stamp on this side, which is, when they actually started calling them K-frames. So, fixed sights in the front, no adjustable sight in the rear. When I brought it home, I actually opened up took these grips off, which these grips are obviously added on. They are not OEM. They are Uncle Mike's aftermarket. But what I think happened with this thing is somebody had it. It got pretty rusty where it was sitting, and then they took it into a smith or somebody that could nickel plate, and they polished it all down, sanded all the pits out of it, and then they actually nickeled it. And the reason I say that is because when I removed the grips on it, you could see where there are rust pits here, and there is actually nickel plating in the rust pits. So that, to me, obviously makes sense. Somebody had it, it got rusty, it wasn't stored properly, and then somebody decided that they needed to get this back in working order, and they decided to go the nickel plating route. So I really dig this thing. It has got a little bit of play, not much. You pull that hammer back, it's still a little play, but yeah, I was super excited to find this thing. The next, specifically why I was so excited on this was because I paid less than $200 for this thing. So super excited. They obviously didn't know. They couldn't find a serial number on it, honestly. The serial number was hidden. The big serial number was hidden there underneath the grips. But if you know anything about weapons, you know that its serial number is here on the cylinder, right there. And then you could also read the cylinder number here. So when I saw it while I was at the store and I saw that there was no letter prefix, there was no C, no D, no K, anything like that in the actual serial number, I decided that I needed to bring it because I did realize that it was a pre-war um, K frame revolver. So there is a gun show in Galveston this weekend that I'm going to go to. I'm going to take this thing with me. I'm not going to sell it, obviously. I'm going to take this thing with me, and I'm going to see if I can't find some original grips for it, or just regular wooden grips. I'm not a huge fan of these on this particular revolver, so really exciting, man. Something cool, out of just a random trip to the local pond on my lunch break. So very excited. As soon as I get those grips, throw them on, I will be taking it to the range and popping a few rounds through it, and then it'll probably stay in my collection just because, nickel plated, gold trimmed, it was done. The nickel plating looks like it was done a pretty good while ago. So if you have any information, if I, am not thinking properly on this, if you think that it was nickel plated from the factory, let me know if you have any information to pass on to me, because I'm a gun guy, yeah, but I'm not, I don't know everything. Obviously, I'm just going off of, small little things that I read on the internet. So, we all know the internet has all the answers, right? But yeah, if you have any information on this K-frame, yeah, let me know, man. I think this is gonna stay in my collection for a little bit. So, but I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good one. Later.